What's up, Dobsters, Dog Martins, Dobinites? So this week we're going to talk about a league that he's in and that I actually dropped out of. Um, it's a super flex league, and two teams took over. I wasn't the only one that quit. There's another person. Um, I'll let you guys know maybe Saturday the reason behind why I quit. I forgot to do research on like the trades that I messed up on. So half of it is me messed up on trades, and then the other half is I don't really like the people in the league. They just keep trading for no reason and get less and less. And then also one of the owners has like all the picks, and then now has probably the best team. Anyway, second best to him. He won last year, so. All right. So anyway, there's a team called Buck Nasty. If you're a friend of, or if you're a fan of Chappelle Show, that's where that's from. So he had Caleb Williams, Daniel Jones, Aiden O'Connell, Tyson Bagent, Easton Stick, and Jordan Travis, who I don't think is playing anymore. The running backs, he had Josh Jacobs, Tyler Algar, Amari DiMaccardo, Sion Vaki, Alexander Madison, Trey Sherman, and Isaiah Spiller. And then for his receivers, he had Rome Dunze, Demario Douglas, Cedric Tillman, Ronnie Bell, Ryan Flournoy, Chris Conley, I don't think he plays anymore either, Matt Collins, and Bryce Ford Wheaton. And in his tight ends, he had Mike Gesicki, Evan Ingram, Will Disley, Josh Oliver, Jelani Woods, and Stone Smart. He had 2.12, 3.11, 3.14 this year. And then he has two top five 2026 ones, including his own. And then all of his 2027 picks, but he doesn't own his first round for 2027. And he has an extra second and two extra fourths for 2027. He looks in pretty good shape, honestly. So I guess we're just going to go over like what would you do if you were in his position. So um,
I guess we should just talk about what he did do
yeah,
because I guess it's kind of irrelevant what we would do with Caleb since we're not on the team anymore.
that's true.
So he did make just two trades during the draft, which was on Friday. He did trade Caleb Williams and Josh Jacobs in the super flex format, and he ended up getting two first rounders in 2025. They're both on the later side. And then 2026, he got two firsts as well and two seconds. One being in 2025 and one in 2026. So he got a pretty good haul for a quarterback that's still, I wouldn't say not proven, but he's got a little bit of work to do. And he got some pieces to actually rebuild. And the two first rounders that he used this year that he received in the trade was Jaden Higgins and Caleb Johnson. And he ended up getting Shador in the very late second round. I think it was 2.14. So still really no quarterback on his roster. Like as of now, it's Daniel Jones and Shador Sanders, which could be about the same value right now. But Shador's got some upside to him, so hopefully he pans out. He's starting to build a little receiving core. He still has Roma Dunze and Jaden Higgins, Cedric Tillman. We'll see what he becomes. And he's trying to build up his running back room, but he's definitely going to have to make a move probably next year for some quarterbacks. He has four firsts next year, so he has a chance to maybe go after one of the quarterbacks in the quarterback-heavy draft class, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I think it was 2026. At least two of them are top five.
Yeah.
So he'll definitely get a chance at a quarterback.
One quarterback. Hopefully two, at least.
Hopefully two.
But yeah. I guess he's just gonna have to nail some of the picks next year. It's kind of honestly just a little hard to judge his team where it's at because it's kind of bottom of the barrel. New owner didn't really like the dispersal draft, so he's just deciding to trade everything away and tank and try to rebuild with some quarterbacks. Maybe he'll get Arch Manning. Maybe it'll be the kid from South Carolina, which I'm a pretty big fan of. Yeah, they have not sure what he is favoritizing towards, what quarterback, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, the only other thing I can add is maybe if he is in the complete rebuild, maybe just try to dish out Roman Dunze and just get some more picks to pile up on it because a lot of his building blocks are just young, unproven receivers and old tight ends. Anything else you want to?
Did he have like any other receivers or anybody that he added, or was it just straight picks?
No, it was just straight picks.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think he did pretty well. Like you said, I agree with him. Caleb Williams is still improving. I mean, I think he's going to do great, but I'm a Bears fan, so I think he's going to be great. But it was the right move. He's now got, like he said, 4 first rounds. 2 of them are going to be top 5, most likely, and then just building up on all those picks. So I think he did really well. Originally, we were just going to tell you like what we would do if we were in issues, and for the most part, he did what I thought he was going to do. Besides trade Caleb, I thought he would keep him, but it's for the best. He's going to have 4 first rounds next year, so it's not that big of a deal. I did want him to keep Rome, and then those 2 firsts in 2026 that he already had. But now he has 4, so I wouldn't do any more trades this year and just kind of tank. To be fair, and mostly everybody in that league tanks anyway. So it's up in the air. It could go either way. I think he did a very good job, and he's learning. He's one of our best friends, so he just joined like Dynasty Football maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. So he's a little bit new, a little bit green. The next one that we were looking at is his name is actually Ray DeLuca. I don't know if that's somebody off a TV series or anything. That might be his name. I don't know. Go ahead and go over what he traded first.
The only thing I remember him trading, because I didn't write down what he traded, but I believe the only trade I fully remember was him trading George Pickens to another team, and I believe he got a first rounder and a third rounder for him, in which it actually ended up being 1.06. So he got a pretty decent first rounder for George Pickens, and he ended up taking Cam Ward with the pick.
Nice. So it looks like his team is now Kyler Murray, Cam Ward, Desmond Ritter, and Kenny Pickett. Running backs are Keandre Miller, Tyrone Tracy, Joe Mixon, and A.J. Dillon. His receivers are Jerry Jeudy, Nico Collins, Lad McConkey, Romeo Dobbs, Jake Bobo, Devontae Walker, Luke McCaffrey, Allen Robinson, Josh Reynolds, Darius Slayton, and Sky Moore. And then his tight ends are Dalton Kincaid, Hunter Henry, Elijah Higgins, and David Bellinger. And he had, who did he pick at 1.02?
Omari and Hampton.
Okay, so he picked Omari and Hampton at 1.02. He had 1.06 already, and then 4.02. So he got what did he get, like a 2026 pick then?
It must have been.
Yeah.
I thought it was this year's.
And then he has a 2026 second and a 4th, and then a 27 first and 2 thirds. And then those are all by Buck Nasty. So they might be high, might be low. Depends. We'll see if Buck Nasty's team ends up being good. Let's see what I put. So I'm not personally a fan of Kyler Murray, so I would have traded him immediately and got what I could with him. He kept him obviously, so maybe he believes in him, or maybe he's trying to compete. Who knows?
I think he's trying to compete.
Okay.
Just because he's not trying to get off of his other assets.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you tried to trade for the. Oh,
yeah, well, I tried to get Lad McConkey, and then I tried to work for another guy, but he did not want to budge on any players.
I don't know. If I were him, I would field all offers and I would get off Kyler as soon as I can before he does anything. The biggest reason I would get off Kyler is because last year Marvin Harrison didn't really say anything to the media, but there was quite a few tape on last year where Marvin Harrison was open, waving his hand, and Kyler Murray missed him. They didn't even throw it to him, or just threw it out of bounds. And I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Kyler Murray. I think that's what all he does is just run around, and then it's great. Like sometimes he makes plays, and it worked for the first 2 or 3 years, but now I don't know. I think he's on this downward trend, and I don't think he's going to be in the NFL in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he'll probably end up on the Colts.
He's going to end up on the Colts.
But yeah, so like I said, we just did our draft a couple of days ago over the weekend. He did take those 2 players that we talked about earlier, Cam Ward and Omari and Hampton. And his other pick was, I'm going to butcher this name, but it's I'm not even gonna try to say it. It's the Chargers rookie tight end that they took.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah, Ordondi Gatson. That's what I'm gonna go with. But anyways, he took those three players. His team is well rounded. I just don't think he's set up that well for the future. Like his picks aren't that deep. I mean, he does have the previous team we talked about, his first rounder, which still could be a high pick, but I don't know. It's just not that. He has a good starting roster, but nothing really else after that. And that's just me saying, like, maybe Kyler will have a decent year, which I don't think so. So, like he said, I do agree. I would probably try to get off Kyler, maybe even like Jerry Judy, maybe package them up with, I believe he only had a second rounder next year. Yeah, maybe like just add those three pieces together and just try to get an upgraded quarterback. I mean, even if he's trying to win, like I would even go after like Geno Smith or something like that, just because he's more of a consistent ball thrower than Kyler Murray. I mean, I guess everybody maybe his ceiling's a little bit higher because his rushing side out, honestly, and that they have Martin Harrison and Trey McBride. But I feel like each year he's kind of gotten a little worse. His rookie year was one of the better years of his career, and other than that, I feel like he has two big tradable pieces would be Lad McConkey and Nico Collins. I mean, Nico has been hurt off and on, and Lad McConkey has 1 year on his resume, so who knows what those players can end up. I mean, I still think they're both like top 12 players as of now today. So I mean, if he's going to try to go for it, I guess just stick with your guns. But if I was in his shoes, I would probably try to trade Kyler, Jared Judy. I might have would have even like during the draft, I would have gotten off that 102, try to get some more picks for the future. I do like Omar and Hampton. I just unless he's just trying to win now, I just don't think it's going to help his roster too much. Like at best, he'd be fringe playoffs, and so
it's possible to make it as a fringe playoff team in that league.
Well, it's very like
actually like six.
Well, it's like
teams that are like, yeah, they're probably gonna make it.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like there's just like 4 teams that are just very top heavy.
Yeah,
but honestly, I got a lot of our leagues are like that.
It is true. Yeah. Mostly because of the fleecing of the trade.
Yeah. But like I said, he has those few players. I mean, maybe it could be a big resurgence year of Dalton Kincaid. I'm kind of hoping. I like the guy. He has good attributes. Hopefully, him and Josh Allen can get on the same page. Maybe it's just more him. Maybe he just doesn't know the plays or can't get open. But other than those two receivers, Amari and Hampton, I'll just throw Dalton Kincaid in there. Everybody else is pretty replaceable. I mean, I know you're not going to have a whole team of star-studded players, but it's just not a great roster to me. And both of us don't really care for Kyler, and who knows what Cam Ward's going to be. So
it's always about doing your best. Like we're no experts, but this is what we would do. We agree on most things. Some things we don't disagree. Some things we don't agree on. But Kyler Murray is one of them where we kind of agree where I would get off him as soon as you can, and then like trade him for as much as you can. And even package him, like he said, with Jerry Judy or somebody else. I doubt Jerry Judy will have another breakout year.
Yeah.
I don't think his year was as great as people said he was. I think he had 1,000 yards, but he still only had like 3 to 5 touchdowns. It still wasn't that much. And they're going to be passing a lot this year, but I don't know. I think he's just one of those players that is going to have like 1-2 good years, and that's it. I also have an opinion on Nico Collins. It took him a little bit of time to actually get good. It took him about 3 years to actually put up numbers. So, I don't know if that's going to sustain itself either. Lad, I think, is fine as long as he's not injured. But we'll see.
Yeah. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in Dynasty football, if you don't think you can compete, just kind of, I wouldn't say fully start over, but I feel like if you're like, man, I'm not going to make the playoffs, it's probably time to sell some of your assets.
Yeah. And get as much as you can.
Yeah. And then we're going to talk about kind of 2 players. It's more of a discussion than just Dynasty talk, but
League news.
League news. and opinions.
And you want to go?
You can start first.
All right, so we're going to talk about Micah Parsons.
Then I'll start first. I thought we were doing the Jags. All right, so Micah Parsons. It's very interesting to me that a player of his caliber is kind of just getting jerked around. I don't know if it's just a publicity stunt. Like a lot of people in media and honestly myself kind of believe the theory that Jerry Jones just likes to always be in the news, basically, good or bad. And I don't think he cares that he's, I want to say overpaying because they're, besides Dak, are like top of the tier players. But I do think he likes holding that trophy of, oh, you come to Dallas, you're going to get paid. We have the highest paid quarterback in the league. We have the highest paid wide receiver in the league. We're going to have the highest paid defensive end in the league. So I do think that is a little bit of it. I don't know if it's going to get done, honestly, because it's been like, I mean, who knows? I mean, Myles Garrett said he wanted to leave Cleveland and he didn't care about money and he wanted the championship, then he signed with Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So this could be just all some act like that. But Micah Parsons did go on Twitter and said, I don't want to be on the Cowboys anymore. Like, I don't want the money. I just want out. Like, you could tell he seemed like a little affected by Jerry Jones' words because he seems like he does put his body on the line and he tries really hard and wants to be a team leader and stuff like that. Honestly, I feel like they're just shitting on him. And I've really never seen a top player like this be disrespected. Like, we don't even have to really go into stats. I wrote down one stat. He has 52 and a half sacks in 4 years. Just crazy. And the other stat was him and Reggie White are the only defense players with those amount of sacks in 4 years. He was drafted in 2021, and a lot of top people from that draft class has already got cinches. People like Jamar Chase, he got 4 years, 161 million. Devontae Smith got 3 years, 75 million. Sewell got 4 years, 112 million. Patrick Surtain got 4 years, 96 million. Rashad Bateman got paid. Trevor Lawrence got paid. Jalen Waddle got paid. Vikings left tackle got paid. The only other top player that hasn't yet is Kyle Pitts, but he at least got his fifth-year option, while Micah has not. Even in the class after him, Derek Stingley got a 3-year, $90 million. Garrett Wilson got 4 years, 130. Sauce Gardner got 4 years, 120. So I really don't understand why they have not paid Micah Parsons. Like, I'm not saying all these players are deserving of their money. I'm not trying to knock any of them, but honestly, like, out of all the people I listed, he could be arguably the best player of the group. Like, I know Jamar Chase is top tier, but I think I'd rather want a star-studded defensive player over him. So I can see why he's mad, and I just don't know why they won't pay the man. Like I said, I don't know if it's can't be like his work ethic or anything. Maybe they just don't like him doing his own podcast and talking about the Cowboys. Maybe he just isn't the Jerry Jones yes man. So what do you think about it? Do you think he's gonna retain or stay on the Cowboys or get traded?
I think he's going to stay on the Cowboys. I think that's a guarantee. I don't think so. I went more of the business side on this one. Those are actually really good facts, and I'm glad that he took that portion of it. So I think both parties are playing the game. Jerry Jones is being himself. Like he said, he wants to be in the middle of everything. He wants Cowboys to be in the news all the time. Controversial or not, doesn't matter. He wants to be in the news. Controversy always sells. That's just the businessman in him. He wants a best price available. I forgot who we were talking to, but it was left tackle that they signed for like 10 years. And then
that was Matt.
Okay.
With Tyron Smith.
Yeah, so Tyron Smith got like 10 years and 121 million or whatever. And then like at the end of the contract, Tyron Smith was like, oh shit, I didn't get paid. And he didn't use any agents. And that's kind of what Jerry Jones likes, is he likes to be the one who talks to the player. That's a strict business mindset. So that's what Jerry Jones, I believe, is doing. He is a true businessman and only wants things done his way. So he doesn't really want to talk to agents. Let's see. Michael wants his agent to take care of everything. He even said it himself. That's his job. That's his job. His job is to get him the most money. So that's why he doesn't really want to talk to them like from a contract discussion. What he did do is he went in and he asked the leadership, "What are we doing for the future?" That was a couple months ago. So he just wanted to know where they were going in order for them to win. So that's what they talked about this all season as well. Another thing that happened was Micah Parsons taking a nap on the trainer's table. I think that's kind of blown out of proportion. He said it himself. He was only there for maybe 20 minutes at most. And then, it gets online and then people start speculating and everything blows up. That's the world that we live in now. The internet's always going to kill you or, make you look better or make you look bad. I think my prediction is that they're going to sign him within this week, and it's going to be a huge guaranteed money, and it's not going to be much to affect the salary cap. And if it is a lot to affect the salary cap, they're going to do what they did this year during the offseason, which they restructured CD Lamb's contract that he signed last year to make sure that the cap hit will be less. So they basically gave him more guaranteed money. They did the same thing with Dak Prescott as well. So even though they just signed their contracts, they already made moves to make sure that the cap space is lower. And Jerry Jones already has money, so he's just going to do that anyway. So that's what makes me believe that they're going to sign Micah Parsons to whatever he wants and then fix it later. Because that's obviously what they've been doing for the past couple of years with Dak and CeeDee Lamb. And I'm sure there's millions of other examples even before these came up. To me, being in like the corporate world, I'm jaded. So like I feel like Jerry Jones is that type of businessman where he wants to handle everything. He wants it his way. He said that the agent sent him like a letter that said you can shove your offer up your ass. It could happen. It could not. I highly doubt that happened, and he just kind of made that up. But you never know. But like I said, I think Jerry Jones is a businessman. He'll do whatever it takes to pay the least amount of money, or work it in a way that favors the Cowboys.
I think he'll get signed 1 hour before kickoff.
That'd be funny. Yeah, they were talking about him like not playing the first week. Like even if they sign him now, it's like okay, like maybe, and I highly doubt it. They're going to restrict his play to only like 60% share, maybe, but I highly doubt it because they're playing the Eagles, and that's a huge.
I was actually going to say if he doesn't get signed before the game, he'll definitely get signed after they get beaten up on national TV.
Right. So like, there's always that factor. Brian Schottenheimer kind of keeps out of it. All he keeps on saying is, "Well, I got to talk to Micah." So like, that's all he's got to do, and I'm pretty sure that's a Jerry Jones yes man right there. Like, okay, I won't say anything, and I'll just talk to him after the game or after whatever he did. But yeah, in my opinion, I really think that they're going to sign him and they're just going to finesse the contract next year, a year after that, whatever.
Yeah, I somewhat agree. I think he'll get extended at least for a short. Maybe it's not going to be like a big, huge contract. Maybe it's like a 3-year deal just to get by and just do like a max amount of guaranteed money or something. But yeah, I do think he'll end up staying, and maybe our next topic will be a way to improve the Cowboys. So you go ahead.
Way to improve the Cowboys?
Well, maybe I have a hypothetical trade in our next category that could help the Cowboys out.
Do it.
All right. So, I mean, he went more into the one running back. It was just
Deshaun two.
Okay, yeah. So I did more of the Jaguars running back group and just trying to think on what their plan is for the running back. So as of now, I guess Travis Etienne will be the starter. Yeah, he definitely. All right, so in 2022, as a rookie, he played in 12 games, had 220 attempts, 1,125 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he averaged 5.1 yards a attempt. 2023, he played in all 17 games, 267 yards, 1,008 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he had 3.8 yards per attempt. And last year, he played in 15 games, 150 attempts, 558 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So
that's when I traded.
Yep. But as fantasy owners, it did look nice, but the year after his rookie year, the stats did go down besides the touchdowns.
Especially the average.
Yeah. He had 47 more attempts and he had almost 200 less yards, which is no good. I didn't really do too much research about the Jaguars' offensive line. I'm assuming they're paying for somebody, so I don't think it's like bottom of the league. But obviously, that was a concern all through Doug Peterson's tenure there. So why does it seem like he's getting replaced already? Tank Bigsby as a rookie, he did not. He actually in 2 years he only started one game, which is kind of crazy. But anyways,
but he gets more carries.
Yeah, he does. So well, his second year he did.
Yeah,
as a rookie he had 50, and this was ETN's like breakout year. So in his breakout year, Tank Bigsby had 50 attempts, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the next following year, he had 168 attempts, 766 yards, 7 touchdowns. So in 2024, they roughly had around the same attempts, and Tank Bigsby, I guess, technically outplayed him just by the numbers.
Yeah.
I do know, he's younger. ETN's up for a contract and stuff like that. I know he got his 5th-year option. Same year as Micah Parsons, which is funny. So I don't know. It's just weird for me to think they were high on ETN at first, and now they just kind of don't even care about him.
Yeah. Just be on.
And in my head, I was like, oh, it has been like a coaching thing. But Doug Peterson was there all 3 of those years. So it doesn't make sense to me. But last season, Tank Bigsby seemed to take over the number 1 role. Him and ETN were starting to split carries, and he was kind of being the lead back by the end of the year. And Tootin, obviously, he hasn't played yet besides the preseason. And then the preseason, he played 2 games. He had 16 carries for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns. It said he ran a 4.3 in his combine. I've watched like the preseason highlights of him and some game tape. It does not look like he's that fast.
Yeah,
not a 4.3 speed.
Yeah, he just has natural speed, but not a game play speed.
Yeah, I will say this though: he is incredibly patient in the backfield, and this is Tootin, by the way.
Yeah.
And every time he got hit, at least in the preseason, I didn't give too much watching it was like college tape, but this was just preseason football, so NFL guys at least. Yeah. There were several plays he got hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he always fell forward or broke at least one tackle. So it seems like he gives the effort. Like I said, he always made at least one man miss. Didn't seem like the greatest receiving back, but this is behind the shaky offensive line. Not really sure who's going to start. In my notes, I just put Tank Bigsby as the starter for this coming year, and Tootin as the backup, getting carries. And I actually predicted Travis Etienne getting traded to the Cowboys.
Okay.
So maybe that'll help Micah out and get him ready to win a little bit. Because they need the help anyways at running back.
One thing that brought up the Bashaw Tootin thing was I was debating if I was wrong for choosing him over Pat Bryant. And then after looking at like the actual views of Pat Bryant, and so what it is in this specifically, again, I don't really have any running backs. My best running back is Zach Charbonnet. I like the guy, but you never know if he's actually going to like tear it up or whatever. So I was like, I'll take a chance on Bashaw Tootin. And one of the main reasons is because Liam Cohen actually wants him. And you saw how good the running backs were for the Bucs. Even Sean Tucker was good for the Bucs, and Liam Cohen's been there for a few years. Anytime like the running backs get the ball, I feel like they make plays. Rashad White had a good year his first couple of years, and like it's just consistent. So that's why like I chose Bashaw too. I do want to take a chance on Pat Bryant, and we have another league coming out. It's a Dynasty league. We'll kind of explain that next week, but that starts on our draft starts on Sunday. I think it's actually a 1-day thing, because the commissioner kind of wants it fast. Obviously, since the season's starting up anyway, but we'll talk about that. But maybe I'll pick like Pat Bryant as one of my taxi squad players, because we do have like a taxi squad in that league. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't really mind not picking Pat Bryant and picking Bashaw Tootin over Pat Bryant.
So I did write a little bit about Liam Cohn. I feel like sometimes I skip over my notes because I don't like looking directly down all the time, of course, when the camera's on. But anyways, I did write down, and I did skip over it. But do you think there's like a scenario where, since out of the three running backs, ETN is probably the better receiver?
Yeah.
Do you think he could have like maybe a resurgent Bucky Irving type of year?
He could. Probably not Bucky Irving type, but in receiving wise, I believe so. I still think the Jaguars are still going to play from behind in quite a few games. So they'll need him on the third down run and the third down. Unless they're close, then I think Tank Bigsby will get those carries. Tootin will get his carries. I assume one of them is just going to get injured for 2-3 games, and then Bashaw Tootin will get his carries. But it's all up in the air right now. How comfortable is Trevor Lawrence with each running back? That's another thing that I don't know exactly what they're going to do. Trevor Lawrence is in his fifth year now this year.
Yeah, because he was Micah Parsons.
And they already paid him, right?
Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah. So they're kind of stuck, but at the same time, since Liam Cohen just came in, and this is going to be the second year of his contract.
This would be his first.
This would be his first. So they're at least stuck with him for like 2
years. He got the guaranteed money, but the contract doesn't start till this season because they picked up the 50-year option too.
Gotcha. Wait, so they
so next year it'll start.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So they're going to have to stick with him no matter what for 2 years. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's what I assumed that Jaguars did, was they front loaded it. That's what most teams do, and then they'll decide from there with Liam Cohen as the coach. So it's all, for me, it's all dependent on Trevor Lawrence. What is going to happen with him? To me, they're going to give him every single weapon they could. That's why they've got Travis Hunter. And then they also obviously have Brian Thomas Jr. And then one of my sleepers, Brent Strange, to see what he can do. So they got the weapons now, and I think this is it. Like, we're going to see what happens and who's going to be there and who's not going to be there. The running game will be very telling. I know that like everything that I said isn't very straightforward of what I think is going to happen, because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, Liam Cohen can decide that Tootin is his favorite and just put him in, or he can decide that, you know what, I do like ETN, take Bigsby, hit the bench. Like, he can decide anything. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. I'll give you my final opinion on the Jaguars running back room. I did see a couple of reports when I was looking up the research for it. I mean, these are just rumors, random reports, but I did see quite a few of them that said before the year starts that they were planning on trading ETN or Bigsby. And to me, it makes sense just to trade ETN. He's up for a deal. You still have the rookie deal and Tank Bigsby, but if that rumor is true, I'd assume probably before the bye week, Tootin will be the starter, because I don't know why you would include both those running backs if you weren't sold on one of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's up. I guess get your Tootin stock, because he might be the starter by week whenever I'm not sure their bye week, but probably after London.
That was one of my things, though, is why I wanted to take Tootin as well, is because of the Liam Cohen factor. Like, obviously, he might be a running back room. I mean, like, the stats don't lie. Like, Sean Tucker coming out of nowhere and starting those 2 games and then having almost 200 rushing yards in one game. That's ridiculous. And then obviously Bucky Irving just going off for almost the entirety of the year as a 4th round pick. So I don't know. That was my thinking behind picking Bashaw Tootin with 2.08 in one of the weeks. Saturday, I'm going to hopefully start doing not parlays, wink, and saying who I think is going to get 60 to 80 yards and 85 yards to 100 yards and all that. I think those all the information will be available for me to make an argument for what we should put in. And then also, like I said, next week we'll talk about the new league that we're going to be in on Sunday. So,
yes, we'll have our draft recap about that.
Draft recap. All right. Well, y'all have a great day. See you later.